Hey guys, how are you doing? We're back on Hypermine, finally, and oh my goodness, ooh, ooh, yes. Sorry for the length between episodes, but I've been very, very busy. Not only in real life, but mostly on Hypermine. Yeah, our project with the power station has turned into a bit of a monster. And it just kind of got a little bit out of control. And so, yeah, it's tour time, finally. First of all, I'm going to show you some stuff around the base. This room is a little bit more advanced. I've moved my alloy furnace down here and present. Lovely, thank you, Slip. I've installed some deep storage because I have over 1 million cobble, which is brilliant. And lots of soil and lots of gravel. Sorry about that. My nose got a bit away from me there, and I had to sneeze a lot. Okay, so yep, I put an enchanting table in and some anvils, for symmetry. And I have also dug a big room out. Yeah, I've got lots of power now. Yeah, so we've got lots of magnetic engines. I haven't even counted them. And that is mainly for this bad boy down here. We have an assembly table with lots of lasers that can produce our processors for, if we give it some silicon, for our ME system. If you're going to run applied energistic storage system, you really need easy access to assembly table technology, because it's a bit of a pain otherwise. And what have we done with those? Well, we've made this guy, our molecular assembler, which is not molecular assembler. It doesn't exactly, it seems a bit not quite trips off the tongue, does it really? Molecular assembler. Anyway, yeah, what this thing does is you can store crafting recipes in, and if you want, and I've got a wireless terminal now for the system, which is awesome pie. So if I want windmills, and trust me, I've wanted a lot of them. Oh, I've got some. Oh, lovely. I can then say, yep, give me 10 of those, and if it has the materials, which it probably doesn't at the moment, it will start making them. Oh, there you go, it made one. And even more cleverly, what it does is you can see it making sails. So it works, as long as you provide it with all of the recipes, it works its way back, which is lovely. And so that basically can make windmills out of fir logs and string, and it will craft all the steps in between, which is lovely. We've also got some machines here. We've got wire mills for making copper coil, the red power copper coil, and we should, if there's none in the machine, that should mean, that's interesting. Oh no, it's not that. It's that. If we go below 32 of that in the system, this level emitter turns off the torch that's part of it, which allows this export bus to export copper, which this turns into copper cable. That turns the copper cable into the coiled wire, and it gets sucked back into the system, which is lovely. Also have a pulverizer, which automatically pulverizes any ores, or at least these ores, because these are the ones I've put into the export bus. So any of those ores automatically go in here, go back in, and the dust, similarly over here, these dusts get sent to this electric furnace. I also have a second furnace down here, and that's got these crafting recipes in here in this ME interface. So if I want glass, it will make it. Same for smooth stone. Same for basalt smooth stone. And have I got anything? No, I've not got anything in here. This is an induction smelter, and I'm going to put a hardened glass recipe in there. And that is basically the base. And it's all really been in aid of the ridiculous project that I undertook. And in the end, it became something of a community thing. Anything new in here? Armitige has a shop now, so does Benito. Nothing new in there. So yeah, what you're about to see. Oh. Oh. What you're about to see could not possibly have been done by me alone, even with the gap between this video and the last. Yeah. Let's walk up the road to Lecky. Oh, windmills. 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 And lots of batteries. Oh. An absolute butt ton of windmills. Yeah. So, where to begin? Okay, so, if you recall, when we were last here, I built this. And this is what I'm referring to as the Mark 1 windmill. And, did I bring a cover for that? I did indeed. What a clever boy. Mark 1 windmill with the wire down the back and a pneumatic tube running up the middle to replace the sail. And I built another one. And there we go. And then my video went up, and one of my subs, Mr. the 250th, that's his name, the 250th. Yep, he said, why not use item tesseracts? Which is genius. Now, I'd actually played with item tesseracts on the last map, and I had a bit of trouble with them integrating with red power tubing, and they still do. And I wondered whether it had been fixed. But what I did was I put the item tesseract directly on the back of the wind turbine, and because the wind turbine has an inventory, it then kind of does hook up, and you can use an item tesseract with tubes attached, and you push sails in there, and they'll come out and pop onto the windmill. Brilliant. And all of these Mark IIs, as I'm calling them, have item tesseracts on the back, in the nacelle, as it were, and they're all set to the same frequency on send and receive, and yeah, they will all receive sales. So that is amazing, and what it allows us to do is use jacketed cable. This is jacketed cable, this stuff here, for the I don't know what you call them, stalks, stems, whatever, which just gives such a fantastically a much more streamlined, aerodynamic, aesthetically pleasing look to have these much slimmer stalks as opposed to these things which look like they're built out of Lego. So that is amazing. So I designed that, I built one of them, and then a wonderful gentleman called Albinacers on the server, check him out. He will be in the description, as all of the members should be, decided that I needed some help. And he basically copied the Mark II design over and over and over and over and over, and produced this massive field of windmills, which is simply amazing. Unbelievable. So moving along, actually what we'll say is this is the windmill resupply station, and this is a deep storage unit which works out fine as long as you're storing. I did discover that these things are metadata sensitive, so you can only store new windmills in here, otherwise it will only it won't mix new ones with damaged ones, or even damaged ones won't mix together unless they have exactly the same metadata, so damage value. So but that's a deep store with a filter and a timer. There's a bit of pipe and an item tesseract below, so if one of these runs out, it will pretty much instantaneously get a new sale, a new windmill, which is amazing. We shall come back to this. Well, no, we'll talk about this now, seems it's here. So yeah, so these windmills all send their power all goes down underground, and we'll get to that in a moment. And one of the places that power goes to, because directly below these battery boxes is a transformer, which transforms it up, and the electricity goes into the 10k high volt cabling, wiring. One of the places that comes to is this little substation, which is missing some iron bars. It comes up here, goes into some transformers to get transformed back down. This is jacketed cable. This is a charging bench and is just here for looks. So this is meant to be like a kind of like a power pylon thing. I was tempted to put these dotted around, spawn and run power into buildings with these, but in the end I decided that was going to be too much of a pain. We'd need loads of them. But yeah, I quite like how this turned out after a bit of trial and error. But that goes into, and I'm missing a bit of, this is obsidian jacketed wire, and I'm missing a bit there. I guess I could actually put some of that there because it's all going to get covered up. Yeah. This is the energy storage buffer. And this is well over 3 stacks of battery boxes. And so if for any reason, say it's not very windy for a very long time, this holds a lot of energy in it. A lot of electricity, and it will take up the slack in supplying the network when power is otherwise low. Now, I did get a lot of questions from my server mates as to the meaning of this business back here. Basically, on the back of each battery box is a normal blue alloy cable, and on top of that blue alloy cable is a blue alloy jacketed cable, and there is a reason for that. And what I'm doing is I'm reducing the resistance, because blue alloy wire of any type has a certain amount of resistance, and on a low voltage system, in the low voltage areas, that can be a bit of a problem. It can cause a phenomenon called electric choke, where there's too much resistance for the amount of power that's being pumped in. So if you have an especially high voltage inbound, now I've really not got my voltmeter on me. No, I haven't. Oh, that's a bugger. If you have a high voltage coming in, like I think this reads several thousand volts normally, if certainly when these are charging. If you've got very high voltage coming in, then the resistance becomes a bigger and bigger factor until the network can no longer overcome it and send power through. So considering the battery boxes all act as a wire in themselves, I've got 3 wires here, and so you get a third of the resistance overall because the voltage gets split between the wires. Very simplified explanation, but it really does help these walls of batteries charge up faster and more evenly. Now I am going to cover, and I really have nothing on me for some reason. Here we go, that'll do for the moment. Good thing about these wires is it's a red power thing. So I will be covering them, not with cobble, but I'll be covering them like that, to make nice outer walls. We've got this lovely little viewing area here, and I plan to have some windows above the battery boxes so you can stand here, see the state of the network, because effectively these battery boxes are acting as readers of the network. They if they're all full up, everything's hunky-dory. If they're all empty, we've not got enough power. We're not producing enough power. And somewhere in between, you can basically get a feel for the health of the network based upon what we can see on these battery boxes. So we can come here, stand here, have a look at those, but we can also see these windmills looming up here, which is really awesome. I really like that. Now, we've got this thing, this deliciously retro steampunk looking thing. This is the concoction of TOLonewolf, another server member, who basically found me working on the project, not at this stage, earlier on to the bits we're going to get to, and decided that this mad little mole digging 2x1 tunnels and laying cable in them really needed someone to come along and help and turn the affair into something slightly more grander and time consuming. So we right click the player detector and ride the elevator down into the depths of the earth. Unfortunately, on servers these frame lifts are extremely laggy, which is a real shame because it's very cool in every other way. But we can ride this down into the tunnels below. So yeah, I was hooking all these windmills up down here in the smallest tunnels I could get away with for the sake of speed, and apparently that was not good enough. So partly together, but this is primarily Lone Wolf's design work. I had a bit of input, and he offered me several choices. It's not quite finished down here. Still need to come around and do some tidying. But yes, all of the windmills are hooked up in these tunnels, and it looks amazing. I think it looks really cool down here, especially with all the cable runs. Let's move over to some slightly more completed areas. With all the cable runs being on, yeah, here we go, on the black basalt. I think that's really cool. Every point that has a windmill above it, we have this bit where it all comes up and loops around the inside of this hole and then shoots up, and the transformer's at the top. So yeah, really big shout out to Lone Wolf. As much as Albinacers, he's made this project happen. Certainly as much as me. I basically just did the technical design work, the wiring, how I wanted to wire it together. So this is amazing, and very long. Poof. All these orange cage lamps, which are very atmospheric, really fitting in with what we've got going here. Someone could not bring themselves to break that. Very fitting with what the function of this place is. All the cage lamps have come from Armitige, who also invested an absolute ton of nickelite into this project. I mean, I kept running out of nickelite, which was one of the reasons it's taken so long. I could not quarry nickelite fast enough for the amount of blue alloy ingots that I was cooking up. You would not, I don't quite believe it, but there must be somewhere in the region of 15 to 20 stacks of 10k cable down here, if not more. I didn't keep count, and I really should have, because it's a frankly ridiculous amount. So they're all hooked up. It's a point to note, same with the battery boxes. Unlike other mods, Bluetricity has no problem with the fact that we've got these loops, and in fact it's designed to take advantage of configurations like this to with the whole reducing resistance. So that's really cool. If we head on back over here, so that's the way back to the crazy frame elevator. We go over here one and look down here. So me and VTGamer, we dug this out and put stone brick down and the basalt down and the cable down. This is another 4. I think this alone, this tunnel, and you'll see how long it is, but this tunnel alone I think was 5 stacks of 10k wire. So this must have been more than 15. We had the help of Armitage's Wand of Equal Trade, which is an awesome item that allows you to swap blocks out in place with other blocks that are in your inventory. So that comes all the way down here. Recognise that? And all the way along here. Whee! Poof! And all the way along here. And that's the network so far. And it's got its first consumer through there. We'll have a we will avoid that because I have not seen the video for that yet. But one of the other server members, is already using the network to power his project. I won't tell you who. You will have to just go and watch everyone's videos. But yes, looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, so obviously this needs to be extended in all directions. There's one destination it definitely needs to get extended out to, but we can pop up. There we go. Jump out here, and we're in town. So yeah, there's a few of these manhole covers down here, so we need to definitely dig a similar or identical tunnel this way along this road, and this way, or maybe actually, yeah, from here probably go underground, although it's nice to stick to the roads where possible. So because if we go directly across here, someone might build something here, that'd be cool, but they might dig down and encounter the tunnel, and that wouldn't be cool. So maybe along here, and then underneath here, not under the bridge, but under the ground in line with the bridge. Or maybe even like kind of pop out that hill and do like a little kind of a cross jobby thing. And here, so that I can take advantage of the power generated by, finger quotes, my own project. Although, as I've said, really, this has been a very much a community thing. It may have been my idea and my design, but it would have not been possible without the help of the guys who have been, to a man, awesome. But yeah, so that is the state of Lekigen. Oh, there was one thing here. I built this. It's not the same as Zueljin's tutorial, but he has a tutorial for a machine on his channel that does the same thing. It's very similar if you want to know how to build that. But all it does is you stand on there and it grows flax and breaks it and keeps going. And how much? Yeah, I need to go restock the bones. This will autocraft bone meal from bones. This stores flax, and this stores string. And we're down to 300. So, yeah, I better go and spend some time standing on that. But, yeah, we're opposite Benito's Tree Emporium, which I've seen the video for already, so it's okay to show that. But yeah, let's head back over to Lekigen, and there's a skelly in his... maybe it's underground. If you look at the mini-map, I can see a little skelly head. You can see several. Whoopa. So yeah, now to be honest, I'm not going to touch this with a barge pole for a few episodes, for a few weeks even. At the moment it's producing a frankly ridiculous amount of bluetricity, far in excess of anything that the server needs. So I will have to get on with digging tunnels off camera, but we'll save the solar array, which I'm not really got any ideas on yet, and the thermopile house, which I do actually have a really good design on, so I don't know how long I'll be able to resist before I build that. But we're going to leave it for a bit, because as awesome as it looks, I don't want to look at it at the moment. Especially as the server's been suffering a little bit of lag, and there was some concern, understandably so, that this place was causing it. But we took all the windmills out, and we even broke all of these battery boxes, and it didn't go away. So yeah, hopefully that's hopefully that it's not the case that it's this place, because I would cry if if it had to be torn down. Anyway, so yeah, that is what we've got going there, and I might actually just hop over. Oh, one other thing. If anyone wants to build something in these tunnels, then feel free. It really feels to me like it could do with like a Steve Cart's subway station or something. So if anyone wants to do that, I am more than happy to share these tunnels with some crazy Steve Cart's thing or Railcraft or whatever we've got. I haven't looked into it myself. I know we've got Steve's Carts. I don't know if we've got Railcraft, but I will be most happy to share those tunnels because they're pretty cool. And at the moment, all they're really holding is 2 cables. So, oh, and another thing actually. Now this is more in the nature of instruction to my fellow server members. If you wish to use Bluetricity from this system, no problem. The rule is bring your own transformer. So make your own transformer and connect up to the tunnel. Oh, I thought I'd converted all of those. Connect up. I better turn that into smooth stone. That's too tall. Whoop. And basically connect up much in the way that Slip has been connected up at the end. Why did I go all the way down there to the thing? So, you know, just kind of pull a high voltage, a 10k wire out to the side. But the important thing is, wherever you're going to say you're going to build something here, if you look on the mini-map, the way my arrow is pointing, say you're going to build something to that side of the road, put some basalt brick there, and run your cable off across so it hits both of these wires. That way, otherwise, you're going to be getting the resistance associated with only one wire, basically, and half the voltage. Not quite, it doesn't work out at quite half the voltage, because I mean it loops back over there, but you want to make your connection to both of these cables as direct as possible. So just run it straight across and out and then up to your place, and that's how you want to do that. If you've got a particularly big power draw, feel free to run cable and then also another cable so that you've got 2 cables. Obviously you're going to want 2 transformers if you do that, because otherwise it would be pretty pointless. It would help a bit, but not much. And yes, that will get you hooked up. Yeah, frankly, we should be good for quite a while with what we've got there. Anyway, I've a feeling we're at the end of the episode time now, so I'm gonna just check the recording time because I forgot to start my timer, and we'll see. I'll come back to you in a sec. Yeah, we're over half an hour already. Might have to edit a little bit out. Certainly my big sneezing fit I had earlier. So anyway, until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.